This is The Gist, the essential podcast for the discerning listener.
Welcome to The Gist. I'm John.
And I'm Mary. It is Tuesday, June 23rd, 2026. We are your smart friends on the go.
We cut through the daily noise. We look at who holds the power, who controls the money, and why it matters to you.
Let's start with the gist view. Today, we are looking at a massive shift in how trade wars are fought.
Exactly. Brussels is holding a new weapon. European officials are threatening to strip United States government debt of its special status inside European banks.
Think of United States treasuries as the ultimate VIP in the banking world. They are considered totally safe and easy to sell. Now, Brussels wants to revoke that VIP pass.
Why does this matter? Because it targets Washington right in the wallet. The goal is to cut European demand for United States bonds by $200 billion over the next 10 years.
The Keir Institute is a major German economic research centre. They crunched the numbers. This move could add $42 billion a year to United States borrowing costs. That is a massive penalty.
Let's look at the power dynamics here. European leaders want to squeeze the United States budget, but they do not want to put import taxes on American goods. Import taxes just get passed down to European shoppers.
Right. So they move the battlefield from the shipping docks to the bank vaults. They weaponize banking oversight. It is a clever financial squeeze.
But it is also a huge gamble. By punishing United States treasuries, Europe forces its own banks to hold less of the world's safest asset. That directly risks making their own financial system unstable.
It is a classic standoff. They are risking a leak in their own boat just to flood their neighbour's yard.
Moving to the global overview, we are looking at interest rates in London, but the real story is in the Middle East.
The Bank of England has a team called the Monetary Policy Committee, or MPC. They set the baseline interest rate for the country.
Right now, that base rate sits at 3.75%. Alan Taylor is a key member of the MPC. He says they need to hold the rate exactly where it is.
Taylor admits this rate is high. It sits about 0.75 points above what economists call neutral, a rate that neither speeds up nor slows down the economy.
So why not cut the rate? It comes down to the Strait of Hormuz.
Exactly. There is simply too much conflict uncertainty in the Middle East right now. The vital shipping lanes are temporarily open, but the threat remains.
The central bank is acting like a homeowner, keeping the floodgates up against a distant storm. They accept a slower economy today to shield against sudden energy price spikes tomorrow.
Over in Washington, we see another strict control of resource flows. President Donald Trump is changing how unfrozen Iranian funds are handled.
He announced these funds will be strictly controlled by the United States. The money can only be used to buy American food and medical supplies.
Think of it as a highly restricted corporate expense card. Washington dictates exactly where the money goes. This eases the humanitarian strain in Iran, but ensures $0 fund Tehran's military.
Let's pivot to the European perspective. In the United Kingdom, military spending is paralysed by internal politics.
Outgoing Prime Minister Keir Starmer wants to publish a major military funding blueprint. It is called the Defence Investment Plan, or DIP.
He wants this done before the big NATO summit in Turkey this July. But his likely successor, Andy Burnham, is demanding a complete halt to review it.
This comes right after Defence Secretary John Healey resigned on June 11th. Healey quit because the United Kingdom will miss a target to spend 3.5% of its gross domestic product on defence by 2035.
Who loses here? Defence contractors and military allies. Multi-billion-pound projects are stalled.
Capital needs certainty. When political leadership changes, the money freezes. Internal political risk is directly delaying national security upgrades.
Next up, the European Union is taking aim at China's currency, the yuan.
The numbers are staggering. Last year, in 2025, the European Union bought €360 billion more in goods from China than it sold. That is a massive trade deficit.
German Chancellor Friedrich Merz says there is a core reason for this. He argues the Chinese yuan is artificially cheap. He says it is undervalued by up to 30%.
A cheap currency acts like a hidden subsidy. It makes Chinese goods incredibly cheap for European buyers.
So Europe is changing tactics. Instead of just slapping tariffs on individual products, they are attacking the macroeconomic levers that subsidise those exports.
Finally, in Brussels, some very quiet meetings just took place. European Union officials sat down with representatives from the Taliban.
The focus was purely technical. They discussed deportation protocols. An EU spokesperson was quick to clarify this does not mean diplomatic recognition.
This is a raw power calculation. European leaders face massive domestic pressure to deport security risks. That pressure is so high, Brussels is willing to negotiate with ideological enemies just to enforce its borders.
That wraps up today's news. Let's check the temperature.
Today's theme is structural leverage. Whether it is Europe using banking rules to punish United States debt, central banks keeping rates high to ward off energy shocks, or Brussels quietly negotiating with the Taliban to secure borders, the big players are bypassing traditional diplomacy. They are using the raw plumbing of finance, currency, and border control to force outcomes.
Stay tuned for the next Gist, your edge in a shifting world. The Gist remains independent and reader-supported. If you value news free from corporate or state interests, consider supporting our mission with a donation. I'm Sean.
And I'm Mary. Thanks for listening.
The Gist, News Digest, and podcast are entirely written and produced by artificial intelligence. The Gist is out 3 times a day, every day, providing you with a liberal perspective on what to expect next. For more information and donations, visit thegist.online. Thank you for listening.